Welcome to another in our series of end to end as we go from one end of a playing surface to the other. And today joining us on our journey is the Director of Football Operations, Haleigh Blocker. So Haleigh, let's go from one goal line to the other and talk about your position here at Texas State. Let's start with the job itself, the Director of Football Operations. What goes with that title? What are your responsibilities with this program?
Yeah, so I would say if you look at DFOs across the board, there's always going to be a little different. But the one common theme is going to be your team travel and all the logistics with that. So when you look at it, you look at hotels, you look at chartered flights, you look at police escorts, meals, which we do year round. And right now we're feeding them 3 times a day. So that keeps me busy. I like to call myself a nutritionist at this point. But you look at that and you look at the media schedules, you look at Coach Spavital's schedule, which is obviously very busy. So I would say just keeping that all organized. You think that once the season over, you would be done, but you're not because you're booking hotels up until really 2024, 2026. So I would say that's the biggest part of it. And then really any other logistical things that would go into a football program.
How much has this impacted your job in trying to work out all of those logistics?
Yeah, it's been very interesting. You look at hotels and just they have to serve you the food and always wearing your mask and different things like that. But I think our guys have handled it well, and I think that leading up to the season, we had enough practice with it, so I kind of expected. And being a DFO is one of those things that you have to be the person to stay calm and figure it out. So it's really just prepping for that. It really hasn't been as difficult as I thought it would be, but that goes to our coaching staff and our players for being mature about it and following all those guidelines.
Barriers are being broken by women in athletics across the country, and your position is no different. There are not many females working as directors of football operations. What is it like for you to be in the position that you're in as a woman and setting an example for other young women out there looking to get into the same field?
It means a lot to me. I always talk about how I'll forever be thankful to Coach Spavital, first of all, for giving me this opportunity, especially so young. And that just shows a lot about him and the person he is. But for me, I look back at when I was an intern here, and I look at my first year, they let me answer the phone, and I thought that was the biggest deal. And I took so much pride in that. I can remember I had my note of when somebody called, this is exactly what I say. And if they call for somebody, this is exactly what I say. So I look back at that and then where I am now, and I just think for what I would tell other women is if wherever you're at, you take so much pride in that and you work hard and you love what you do, then doors will open eventually, and luckily for me it opened a lot earlier.
You referenced your youth, and on top of yes, being a female in this field, not many people your age are the Director of Football Operations. You graduated from this university 2 years ago, I think it was. How much pride do you have for this university as you yourself are a Texas State Bobcat?
I love Texas State, and that's probably one of the coolest things about this job for me is watching our freshmen come in, and then seeing them go all the way until they graduate and leave Texas State, because I enjoy Texas State so much. So getting to watch them enjoy it and have so much pride for it, it means a lot to me. Really.
How well do you get along with this staff headed by Jake Spavital?
Oh, they're awesome. I always joke about having to go work for another staff because they're so good to you, and you feel it's a family, and I never feel like I'm the youngest one here or I'm the woman in the room. They make you feel like you're one of them at all times.
Football team itself, how well do you get along with the players, the student athletes in this program?
Very well. They're like my brothers, I feel like, most of the time, and it's funny because a lot of the freshmen that don't know me, when they come in, they all call me Miss Haleigh. And so it's funny because the seniors who I've known forever, they're looking at the freshmen like, y'all know how old she is? But they're good. They're great. They respect me as if I was a coach. So it's an awesome group.
So the off season will be here before we know it. What goes into your job once the season itself comes to an end?
Start planning for the next year, really. Going to start traveling, hopefully, eventually, to go look at other hotels. Then you start looking into summer camps and helping out with that. It obviously dies down a little bit. You look at Coach Spavital's speaking events and kind of organizing all of that, but I would still say you get right back to the next year.
Well, here's to hoping by this time next year things have gotten back to normal in 2021. We've taken a journey from one goal line to the other, talking with the Director of Football Operations, Haleigh Blocker. Haleigh, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Family.